My friend Carl Czar is in the building. How's it going today, Carl?
Hi, Rishi. How are you? Good to see you.
I'm doing pretty good, and I see your son in the background. I got to give him a salute.
I let
So,
him stay. If he promised, don't make any noises. So,
you
my
know,
my wife's still sleeping. So I'm like double duty
oh, I,
babysitting.
I, I got you, Carl. I got mine. My
Yeah.
son, well, my daughter is right here. And she's in and out of the door. So if you hear the door creaking or whatever, she's in and out. Because my wife works overnight. She's a
Ah,
nurse, so she
yeah.
works overnight. So my daughter is in and out. So anyway,
Gotcha.
everybody, thanks for joining us. Shout out to Blue Pill Diary. Shout out to Flying Crocodiles 4630. Now, Carl, before we go further, I want to establish something as I was telling the people. But I want to establish some facts so that we can see whether America's actions that she's carrying out are legal or illegal. So first, before the show started, I just put in these words right here. Is it illegal under international law to attack or threaten to attack a nation? And according to the AI overview, it says yes, it is generally illegal under international law to attack or threaten to attack a nation that poses no threat. And this is under the United Nations Charter, Article 2.4. It prohibits the threat or use of force against the territorial integrity or political independence of any state. Unauthorized attack is considered a crime of aggression. Okay? So we have that point. And Article 2.4 says this under the UN Charter, it prohibits UN member states, which the United States and Israel are members of the United Nations and the UN Charter, from using or threatening force against the territorial integrity or political independence of any state. It is a cornerstone of international law that bans war or coercion in other nations.
Rashid, when has the United States or Israel ever followed the international law? This is and de-dollarizing at the same time. I mean, Iran single-handedly is dismantling the U.S. imperial system right now in West Asia, and it's beautiful. I love it.
And you know, one thing, two fun facts. Um, the Beidou system is far more advanced and has far more satellites in its constellation and it's far more accurate than GPS. Most people don't know that the Chinese satellite system is more advanced, more modern, and it's larger than and more people have switched to the Beidou. And in the strategic documents that were signed between Iran and China, Iran gets access to the Beidou system, so they don't need GPS or the European satellite system or whatever. So they have that. Another fun fact before we go further, I saw Flying Crocodile says this. That, I'm a student of history, so when I see things, I have to point it out. Flying Crocodile says something about the great Satan. Let me pull it up. Here it is, right here. Flying Crocodile says America is living up to the Iranian expectation as the great devil by doing extremely evil and illegal acts. As a matter of fact, do you know where that term came from? Since I'm a student of history, and
Restriction on Chinese investment into India because they finally realized, the Americans are not coming through with their promises. They're gonna have to, they have to gonna ch- to moderate their hostile toward China somewhat. So I think
so he says that. So now, as he talks about Iran spending money on defense, and I think $1 billion, we have an article that came out that says that Pentagon's budget is requesting 200 billion more dollars for the war against Iran. So hold on, just before you comment. So we're sending more weapons, more warplanes, more everything, more troops, and we need more money. Supposedly be winning easily, and we have destroyed. 100% of the Iranian Navy, 100% of the Iranian Air Force. We've destroyed 90% of
military budget. U.S. spend far more than what Iran spends on defense, and this is why I'm not overly optimistic.
Well, my God, thank you again, Carl, for joining me on the platform, man. I know you got father duty right now, so I'm going to let you go handle yours, and I'm going to handle mine. Be blessed, man. I'll contact you later. Be safe. All right.
Thank you, Rashid.
All right. Be
My
blessed,
pleasure.
Man.
Bye bye.
Right. Everybody, listen. Join us tomorrow at 7 p.m. Excuse me, Central Time. We're supposed to have Brian Berletic from the New Atlas on the platform. Hopefully, he'll be able to join. If something comes up, we'll still rock and roll. You know how we do things. I want to thank each and every one of you for joining me on the most powerful platform for truth on God's green earth. I want to say to you all, do right by others, not because there's some material gain to be had or because there's some accolades to be had, but do right by others because it's the right, the humane, and the godly thing to do. Because even when no one else is watching you, remember that God Almighty is watching you. Hit that like button and subscribe. And as my mother, my beautiful late and great mother would always say, God sits high on the throne of power, but he looks low at the actions of man. Know that I love each and every one of you who loves truth, but know that the love that I have for you will always pale in comparison to the love that the divine supreme being of freedom, justice, and equality has for you. Until we next speak again, stay strong, stay true, but above all things, remember to stay righteous, because righteousness is the only thing that's going to get you through this. Hey, mama, your baby boy loves you more than life. Thank you, everybody. We're out of here. Peace.